everybody, it's Kristin and I have a haul and a get ready with me for you. We'll see how long this ends up being, whether the get ready with me is a talk through or whether you see my lips moving and it's fast forwarded and there's music behind it. Because I think that I kind of got a little chatty, but I wanted to share some items with you that I got from a friend of mine who lives in Scotland, and her name is Lorna, and she had sent me a bunch of products from Makeup Revolution and then one from Collection, which I think used to be called Collection 2000 maybe, I'm not really sure. But because there's Makeup Revolution at Ulta, I thought maybe it would be fun to kind of show you the products that I got and then do a little get ready with me at the end. And it's kind of Valentine's Day inspired get ready with me, but you're seeing this after Valentine's Day, so you know, a red lip can be appropriate at any point in time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to kind of show you. I won't swatch everything for you because there are a bunch of things here, but the palette that I used on my eyes today and the one that you'll see at the end is the Makeup Revolution. Well, okay, it's all that in Disappear to Beyond. And so it looks like this. A couple of the shades that are really intriguing to me are this one right here, which looks like that. It's just a really deep, and that one was really nice. The one I used on my lid today was this one. I know, shocking, but it was really kind of flaky, and I didn't appreciate that so much. So hopefully you guys can see how it's a little bit flaky. I got some fallout on my, but on the lid it looks pretty. Even with that one, that's a pretty combination. So anyway, that is the first eyeshadow palette that I got. Let me wipe my hand off before I get stuff all over the place. There's a single that she sent that was it's in Killer. It wasn't. It is still in Killer. And if I can get this open, looks like this. I mean, that's the size of a blush. It's crazy how much product there's there. And these are very reasonably priced. Isn't that pretty? Can you see the sort of dimension in there? And it's one of those ones where the glitter doesn't show up like that. I bet if you can use this wet, I would try that wet, and I bet that glitter would show up, and that'd be really pretty, sort of smoky eye. There are some little kind of smaller palettes that they have. The one that she sent me, there's no name on it. No name. I found that with some of the lip products as well, but very pretty. Those kind of look, some of those look like dupes for some of the things in the original Naked palette. That's just 3 of them. It's kind of hard to get in there because they're little teeny. But oof, look at that one. That's pretty. And then another larger palette like the first one, and this is in Beach and Surf. This is some really fun sort of spring summer shades, so those will be fun to play with. Like this one right here. I bet that's, yeah, that is kind of like that taupe one in the other, where it kicks up a lot of flakiness. There are the shades. But there's definitely some flaky. I had to swatch and then blow it off. Some of the other ones aren't like that. It's just the one, you can kind of tell when you look at them which ones are going to be and which ones aren't. Ooh, those 2 are pretty. See those right there? Those will be fun. I'll have to do a spring look or something with those. There are a couple of pigments. I don't want to open them just because I opened them originally and just kind of pushed back so only one hole was showing. There's just, oh, well, that was easy. I was going to say sometimes these are so hard to swatch, but that came out very easily. That is a really pretty, cool pink, like baby doll pink. That is pretty. That would have been a nice all over lid shade. Like I could see that for bridal work. And then this one, or that one, that's an Angelic. And then this one is in Disguise. Disguise looks like that in the pan. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell it was really hard to get a good swatch of that because pigments are tricky. Meaning when I would dump it out, it would be kind of all over my hand. But it's a really pretty, there's like a deep olive within that. It's pretty, and I think it would be really pretty as a smoky eye. But I'm not sure that you'll be able to kind of catch that olive, but gorgeous. All right, one thing I want to say, these next 2 are palettes, and the mirrors in these are amazing. It's a good mirror, and it's the full length. It's really, really, really nice. I'm going to try to swatch with my other finger a couple of these. So this is All About Cream. It's an Ultra Blush, obviously, cream palette. And I'll just take the first two on the bottom. So it's like that. Ooh, there's some, whoa! There's some serious pigmentation to that. So that is what those look like. Then let me blend a little bit. Wow, that's really nice, you guys. That doesn't, normally something like that, you know, will tend to blend away. And it didn't blend away at all. That's going to be fun to play with. And then this palette, I almost used this one today, and then I decided I would just use some of the other things, but this is the Euphoria palette, and it has a really pretty blush, bronzer, and highlight. And the bronzer is not, my fingers are dark from swatching that pigment, but the bronzer is really nice and not too orange. You can see that it has some warmth to it, but it's not too orange. And the blush and highlight both are very pretty. And then there are some very kind of nice neutrally shades. The only thing that I can tell that will be concerning to me, I can use this bronzer as a transition shade, but there's nothing to add any depth to the look. There's no dark shade. And aside from the bronzer, nothing matte in this. So you'll need something to go along with that. And then lastly is what I have, the gloss that I have on today is from this kit. So there's no notation on this kit as far as what it was called or is called. And there are 3 products in here, and none of the products have any sort of shade name on them. But there's a really pretty red cream polish. It's not what I have on my nails today, but looks similar. There is a lipstick. Let me wipe off the face swatches here. A red lipstick, a satin finish, very pretty red. And I know that there are lipsticks on the site, on the Ulta site, but I've not tried any of them. And then there's this intense lip gloss, and that's what I have on my lips today over Cherry Lip Liner from MAC. And that's 2 swatches of that right there. So I started to wrap things up, and I was like, game, you have a whole other pile of stuff there to show. So the blush that I'm wearing today is the one in Sugar, which is this right here. And you'll see me apply it. It had more pigmentation to it when it went on than I expected it to. And then these remind me of the MUA. Is it MUA? I don't know. There's another brand of blushes that come like this. So this is the one in Hot with an exclamation point. Whew, look at that. So it's hot. And then this one is the one in Wow, also an exclamation point. I wonder if these are on the site or not, because these are really nice. I had to look. It is the MUA ones that come like that as well. And then this one is in Treat, which is a really pretty sort of peachy shade. And there those are. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. There's a bronzer that I was going to use in the tutorial, and then after I swatched on my hand, I was like, it's a little too orange. I think it would work better as a blush for me, and it's the Vivid Baked Bronzer. It's stunning, though. This one is on Ulta's site. I mean, it's so pretty. This would be pretty as a eyeshadow, as well. Look at that. Really, really pretty. So stunning. This is the one product that is from Collection. It looks like NYC to me. And this is in Bronze Glow, number 2 Radiant. It's a mosaic powder. So really pretty. That is right there. And the highlight that I'm wearing today is the one in Radiant Lights Breathe, it says. And look at that. It reminds me of the Laura Geller ones that look like that. This is so pretty. I talked about it when I applied it. It's just that perfect, especially for an aging skin. It's not going to accentuate things. There's no glitter to it. It's just a really pretty highlight. And then these are on the website. This is the Revolution matte blush. Yeah, the matte blush in Dare. I decided to clean off and start over, so there's that. And there it is. I mean, I don't know how they last or anything, but even blending out, look how pigmented that still is blending out. You know, sometimes when you put a finger swatch and then you blend it out and there's nothing left. Not so with that. And then the other 2 lip products, one was an intense gloss. Again, there's no shade on it. I don't know if it was on the packaging when I wiped it off or not. And this is not This one is not exactly intense, I would say. So there it is right there. This is what it looks like. I don't think it's intended to be as kabam as the red one is. And then the last product is this Ultra Velour Lip Cream. And this is in a box like this. I'm looking to see if this has a shade name. I think the shade is called Can't We Just Make Love Instead? Which is right there. Yeah. That's pretty. So it looks like that right there. And it's definitely lip cream. Reminds me of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. So, alrighty then. So thank you so much to Lorna and to Gary as well for those products. If you want to see how I applied this look with some of these products, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so I have some Urban Decay Primer Potion down on my eyes already. And I'm just taking my Beauty Junkie mini angled shading. No. Mini angled brush. And I'm using some Painterly from MAC. Is the paint pot. Sometimes I say that so fast people are like, what? Like if they have never heard Painterly paint pot before. I say it too fast and they don't know. They don't know what I'm talking about. I do always list everything though below for you guys. So the palette that I've chosen to use is this one in Disappear to Beyond. So the shades look like that. And because I'm going to actually do a red lip, I'm going to do kind of a minimal eye, but you know, I have to use that shade right there. Just has to happen. So right now I'm just going into this lightest one on the top here, and I do this every day. Let's see how much shimmer there is in here. I have this my light turned down a little bit. This is a Zadro mirror, by the way. Whenever I use this in a tutorial, people always ask her whenever you can see it. People always ask. Alright, so I just always do that over the paint pot. It adds even more to longevity, and it makes it easier to put things over. Okay, so I can tell you this. You see how much that kicked up there? So that particular shade, the one I put on my eyelids or all over was fine. This one is really kind of flaky. It's a beautiful color, but you're definitely going to have some fallout. This is a MAC 239, by the way. Just my favorite eyeshadow laydown brush. Very, very flaky. I can feel it flaking down on my face. I'm just gonna wipe away. I'm going to wipe away some of that. I don't like to leave it till the end. I like to kind of clean as I go. So now I'm gonna take my Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease brush and go into this shade right here. I love this brush. So that's very interesting. It applies a little more warm on the skin than I would have thought. I mean, it looks like a warm shade in the pan, but it applies a little bit more warm in the skin. So I'm just adding a little transition. Now I'm grabbing a Sephora number 27, and I'm going to go into this shade right here, and we'll see how that one. The one that I use in my transition definitely has a little more sheen to it than I thought. It's fine though, it's not like shimmer, it just has some sheen to it. Hoping this one will be more matte. So that's a really nice matte. It actually does go on like probably more like a satin. It blends very easily, so it's probably more of a satin sort of finish than a full matte. If you have trouble blending mattes on your eyes, it's a good way to kind of ease yourself into using more mattes. If you've had trouble in the past, is use something that's a satin. It will look like a matte, but it will blend a little bit easier for you. Alright, I'm going to grab a MAC 217 and go into this shade right here. This is not like a super hard eye look. This was just to kind of get an idea of how the shadows perform so far. And I will report back on the other shadows So this has a nice kind of, it works okay for the cleanup on the outer corner. It's got a little bit of sheen to it, which is really nice under the brow bone. Hopefully, let me turn this down. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's hard for me to tell in the viewfinder what does and doesn't come through on camera. I'm just gonna grab my Beauty Junkie crease brush and just really blend that out. So normally when I'm trying to stay within a palette, I will use a liner for a dark shade for a liner, but there isn't really a nice dark one in there, so I'm just grabbing my Avon Waterproof brown chocolate glimmer stick in brown chocolate. I've had a lot of questions over the years of how I get my eyeliner nice and smooth, and this is it. Take a smudge brush of some sort. This is the Sigma E21. I've never found a complete dupe to this, though I wish I could. And I just lay down my eyeliner and I just smudge it out a little bit. You can also do this with an angled, like a angled liner brush, you know what I mean? I just prefer to do it with this. Use that same liner to, first use a Q-tip instead of my finger to get the extra out of the corner there. And then I'm going to use that same liner and line my upper waterline. I've been playing with that liner a little bit. It's the one that I've chosen, the brown that I've chosen to work through currently, and I like it. All right, the blush I'm going to use is the Revolution blush in Sugar, which looks like this. You know what though, first, I'm going to take my Tom Ford bronzer brush. For bronzer, I was going to use this, which is the Vivid Baked Bronzer, but take a gander at this. I mean, that's a little too orange. I think that'll be a gorgeous blush. Wait, there. But I don't think that's going to be a good bronzer for me. So I think I'm going to just use the bronzer that I've been using, which is my MAC, whatever this is, Aphrodite Shell, and my Tom Ford bronzer brush, and just put a little dimension back in my face here. This brush, you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear more about it at the end of the month. All right, and then back to the blush in Sugar, and this is the It Cosmetics blush brush. I always smile. That's interesting. That ended up being a tad more pigmented than I intended. I mean, it's real life, people. So I just want to take a little bit more and kind of connect. I do more on my apples than on the backs of my cheeks. Everybody has a different way they apply blush. That side's going to look a little better. I was more prepared for the pigmentedness. Again, that's washing it out a little bit, but this light tends to wash out the side of my face. I actually still feel like that's a little bit too much, even toning it down. So I'm just going to go back into my powder foundation and into my Sephora 55 brush and just, let's just tone her down a little, shall we? I'm really impressed with that pigmentation. That's good stuff. And I'm going to take my Sephora number 79 brush, and this is the Radiant Light Breathe. Radiant Lights Breathe. Can we just? Really pretty. I played with this on my hand a little bit, and this has, well, you'll see, it has some lightness to it without like that glitter or super sheen. This is a great highlight, especially for maturing skin, I think. Kind of like the Laura Mercier Baked Highlight 01, that one that I love. I'm going to take my 239 brush again and back into that brown that I deepened up the crease with. And just, for those of you that prefer when I finish my eyes, as you say, I'll put a little brown underneath there. I go back and forth on how I feel about stuff under my eyes. Boy, I'll tell you what though, that you probably can't tell in the mirror. Or you probably can't tell in there, but in the mirror, just putting that brown underneath my lower lash line really made my eyes look bluer. So I have this kit that has a lip gloss, a lipstick, and nail polish in it. And I just looked and there's no name on any of them. So the kit must have had a name. What I'm doing is, I decided to use the gloss. So I'm just using MAC, is this Cherry? Yeah. MAC Cherry Lip Liner all over my lips first. All right, so I have that lip liner on, and now this is the Revolution Intense Lip Gloss. It doesn't have a name. Let's just, for the sake of, oh, there is some serious pigment to that. I just know better than to go straight onto my lips with something like this. All right, so here's the final look. I think it's nice for a Valentine's Day sort of event. Just kind of a nice soft eye, and I like this red lip. It's a red lip, but it's not like red lip. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's a little more muted because it's, you know, gloss over a liner versus a full lipstick over a liner. I don't know. So let me zoom in and I'll show you the eyes. So you can see that I didn't talk about it, but I added more mascara. I'm looking here so I don't poke myself in the eye. On the outer corner than I do on the inner corner, and I feel like it just kind of elongates my eyes a little bit, but anyway, the mascara that I'm wearing is Baby Doll, YSL Baby Doll. So I hope that you enjoyed this sort of style of video. I think that the look really turned out nicely. I know it's still kind of Valentine's Day-esque, even though Valentine's Day is gone, but I mean, a red lip can be appropriate at any point in time. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to do a video where I review all of the products that I showed at the beginning. If that's something you would want to see, I can certainly go ahead and do that after I've played with all of them more. And I think that that is everything. So thanks again for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and in everything that you do, be beautiful. Bye.